Let us have an overview of spermatogenesis. Let us begin with a sperm. You all know when I say the word sperm, sperm is a male gamete and it is also known as spermatozoa. Okay, so this male gamete is also known as spermatozoa, and when we look at its structure, we'll see a detailed structure of the sperm. This is divided into three main regions, and these three main regions are the head, the midpiece and the tail. Let us discuss about the head. Head has a nucleus, and in the nucleus it contains chromosomes, and that is why this is very important. But when we talk about chromosomes, can you tell me what is the number of autosomes and what is the number of the sex chromosomes? Let's wait and discuss. You all know that these gametes are haploid cells. Haploid means half the number of chromosomes. So generally there are 44 chromosomes, 44 autosomes. So in the sperm we'll have 22 autosomes, means half the number of autosomes that are present in a normal cell. We talk about sex chromosome, only one sex chromosome will be there in a sperm, in a spermatozoa. Next we move on to this acrosome. This acrosome contains enzymes that are necessary for fertilization. After this, we move on to the next part of the sperm, that is the mid-piece. Now this mid-piece contains mitochondria. You all know that mitochondria is very essential as this generates energy, and the energy currency of the cell is ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. This needs ATP because this sperm has to swim, so it needs energy to reach the ovum. That is why mitochondria provides this ATP, this energy currency. Then you move on to the tail region. It is also called flagellum because this is going to move in a whip-like fashion to reach the ovum and then finally complete fertilization. So this moves in a whip-like motion, as you can see, to propel the sperm forward. This flagellum helps the sperm to move forward. So now after having a detailed overview of what is this structure, let's move on to spermatogenesis, that is the process of sperm production. Now this process of sperm production actually is linked with Sertoli cells which are present in the seminiferous tubules of the testes, the male gonads. Now what happens in the seminiferous tubules? This is one Sertoli cell and this is the another Sertoli cell. Between these two Sertoli cells, this spermatogenesis is going to happen from the basement membrane to this. Now we have divided this into two regions. The first region is called the basement region, and here we have germ cell spermatogonia which is going to undergo mitosis to produce finally spermatozoa, that is the sperms. So when we talk about this germ cell spermatogonia, this region, this upper region is known as a basal compartment, and here we have a tight junction. After this, the next compartment till this we call it as luminal compartment. So what is going to happen? The spermatogenesis is going to begin from this basal to this luminal compartment. So we have germ cell spermatogonia that is diploid, means it has double the number of chromosomes that is there in the normal cells. So males are born with a finite number of spermatogonia, but after the mitotic divisions we can have infinite number of sperms, spermatozoa. Okay, so they can undergo mitosis, spermatogonia undergo mitosis and divide indefinitely after the male reaches puberty, that is sexual maturity. After this, you can see that we have mitosis, and this mitosis is an equational division, so it is also going to have what? These primary spermatocytes also are diploid, means they have the original restored number of chromosomes, not the half number of chromosomes. So they also have now 2 and into 2. So we'll have two cells over here which have same way out, that is 46 chromosomes each. After meiosis 1, when we have meiosis 1, we'll have reductional division. So we have secondary spermatocytes. During meiosis 1, what happens? The chromosome number is reduced to half. So now these cells will have half the number of chromosomes. Then meiosis 2 will produce haploid spermatids. Now we have 4 spermatids which are going to mature and develop into sperms, that is spermatozoa, each having half the number of chromosomes, that is they all will be now haploid. So let's have an overview. Spermatogonia diploid. After mitosis produces primary spermatocytes. These are also diploid cells. Then after meiosis 1 we have haploid secondary spermatocytes, and in meiosis II we have spermatids, which are all haploid, and they mature and develop into 4 spermatozoa, that is the sperms. So remember, here we can account for the process of spermatogenesis, how this is going to take place in the seminiferous tubules in association with Sertoli cells, and we have the spermatids or spermatozoa in the lumen, and we can have 50 to 500 million sperms which are going to be ejaculated, and from here, from the lumen, they are going to be stored, and these processes, the process which involves the formation of these spermatozoa is known as spermatogenesis. Remember, initially we had diploid cells, and when the gamete, that is a spermatozoa or sperm, are formed, they have haploid cells, and their haploid means they have half the number of chromosomes. It means the number of autosomes is going to be 22 and will have one sex chromosome in the spermatozoa.